So as we're taking our tour around Catoosa County, you know, of course, that we have to pay a stop to the beautiful Colonnade, which is now online, called CatoosaColonnade.com. It's the pride and joy of the folks here in Catoosa County. Taylor Williams has the lucky job of being the technical director, and we are up on stage as they're winding down the Nutcracker. What a setup they have.
Yeah, it's an awesome, just very elaborate set that they bring in.
And actually, it's Dalton performing here, which points to the fact that you were so widely sought out for performances all around the area.
Yep, it's a Dalton Arts project. They used to do it here annually a few years ago, and then they switched to Dalton High School. And then once COVID happened, and it caused Dalton High School to shut down for a little bit. Yeah. So in that time, they needed a venue, so they came back and said, hey, can we come back here? And we said, yeah, absolutely. And that was last year, was their first year back. And then they said, you know what, we just want to keep coming back here. So we're like, absolutely, we'll have you.
You know, there's something that you want to feel kind of impressive when you go to the theater, that it's an experience that you take in. You get that when you come to the Colonnade, because from the minute you walk in the door, you get that feeling of being someplace special. But what I enjoy about your theater, and you were explaining to me that the Colonnade name is a reference back to Roman time. You've got the beautiful stone walls. It's a large theater, but it's not steep. So you feel intimate with the performers on stage. Yeah,
that's one thing I really love about this space in particular, is that it's big. We seat 518 people, including handicap seating. But at the same time, it's not like a giant theater, in which case, like, if somebody's on stage, they can't see the person in the last row. Whereas here, you can honestly have a conversation with somebody in the last row. But when you come to see a show in a setting like this, 518 people at once can all have what feels exactly like you said, more intimate experience.
And it is a community-supported, county-owned building, so it's used for multiple purposes.
Yes.
I was asking you earlier about some famous people who've been on the stage, and you said the most famous of all was?
Well, Warren Buffett had been here, yeah.
But he did not perform.
No, he spoke for an event, but he didn't perform.
But my point is, you can speak up here, you can just communicate to people up here, and as you said, reach that back row.
Yep.
You were real excited that our timing proved to be what it was, because y'all have just announced your season for 2022,
yes.
Which is a little bit unusual for you.
Yeah, we used to basically just announce like 1 or 2 shows at a time, like, hey, in the next few months we're going to be doing this one. Whereas now we have basically decided that we're going to start announcing a full year's worth of shows. So we, a couple weeks ago, announced our full season for the 2022 theater season. He
even had the brochure ready to go, which I'm holding in my hand. And one of the things, I mean, theater is always great.
Yes.
I love that your whole lineup this year, it's familiar to people.
Yeah.
Every single show, they're going to go, I know a song from that one.
Yeah, that's one thing we were going for, was to have a season that a lot of people would be familiar with, so that people could say, oh, exactly like you were saying, like, oh, hey, you're a good man, Charlie Brown. Oh, SpongeBob, my kid would love that. Yeah. Or adult, honestly, I'm a SpongeBob fan myself. But, yeah.
Who isn't a SpongeBob fan? You've got 9 to 5.
Yep, we have 9 to 5.
Cinderella.
Cinderella, Clue, the musical.
Yes.
Which, that's definitely an interesting one.
And then Honk Jr. kicks things off.
Yep, which I'm directing. Very excited about that one.
So it is community theater.
Yes.
We've been talking a lot, and will, in the course of this hour, about that sense of community that's here in Catoosa County. You want that to be represented on stage, so you were telling me that you don't hire out professional actors.
No, we do not. All of the talent that you see on the stage for our productions is all local talent, or people who we announce auditions and they come audition, and we really try to put more of an emphasis on the community aspect of community theater. Because one beautiful thing that I've started noticing here, and at other theaters as well, but there are shows that we'll do where at auditions people will just be acquaintances, and by the end of the production it's like we're one big giant family.
Yeah.
And it really just is honestly one of my favorite things about theater.
So let's talk about the audition process, because when you get the brochure here, when you go online, you'll see not only the show dates, but the audition schedule for each of those shows. You said you also are very purposeful in not wanting to cast the same people all the time. You want the newcomer to feel welcomed here.
Yes, yeah, I really would. I really want to start seeing more new faces. at some places there can sometimes be people that you see for almost every show. They're always there, and I feel like that can kind of scare some people away. They'll have the thought, oh, I don't want to go there because like I may not get cast.
Right.
Whereas here we're trying to deliberately steer more away from that. We want the new people. We want the people not only who have never done anything here, but that have never done anything, period. Like their first show ever.
So let's speak to that, because you know the whole purpose of these days has been to highlight the kids in these local high schools, the bands and choirs, and give you a sense of what the arts look like in the different parts of the viewing area. But time after time, we've heard people talk about how when they were young and they got involved in the arts, it gave them confidence, it gave them poise, helped them with public speaking. You're a great example of that. You're a CCA grad.
Yes, I am. 2008.
So for people who say, yeah, but how are you going to make a career of it? You don't necessarily know where your life is going to take you, but the lessons learned get you there.
Yes, that is very true. The definition of opportunity happens more when luck meets preparation.
Yeah.
And so being a CCA grad, that was kind of my preparation, and then all of a sudden in 2019, the technical director position here became a thing. It was a brand new position when I started here.
Wow.
So all of a sudden they said, hey, we're looking for a technical director to help us kind of run the theater end of things. So of course I threw my hat in the ring and interviewed and was fortunate enough to get the job.
And then he's also can add teacher to his resume, because I was asking you about when did it become a thing where everybody around the country now references a theater with RE and not ER, and you taught me something, Taylor.
Yep. Theater with an RE is more about the industry of theater and like all making the magic happen and everything, whereas the ER is more the venue, or like a movie theater, that's ER, or like what we're sitting in right now is a theater with ER. But yeah.
Okay. So we're in a theater ER, the art of it is RE.
Yes.
Now you know. And the great thing is to find out about what they have going on at the Colonnade, you don't even have to spell the word. It's just CatoosaColonnade.com.
CatoosaColonnade.com.
You can leave theater out of it. By the way, right now is the plan to be seated to full capacity with the 2022 season, or are you still waiting to see with COVID?
We are having all seats available basically when we are selling tickets. But we kind of leave it up to the people buying them, because when you pull up the seating chart, it actually has the individual seats and you can see what's available.
Gotcha.
Okay, where some people are sitting. So if you choose to socially distance yourself for that performance, you have that option.
They call it the beautiful Colonnade for a reason. Taylor, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you.
Good luck and break a leg with the season.
Thank you.
Do you notice cold draft?